Have you ever been told to trust your gut feeling? Well, there actually might be some science behind that. Scientists have substantial evidence that the gut and brain are in constant communication and that our emotions and gut can greatly influence each other. And we'll look at the scientific evidence to see what it says. And if you want to see the paper we're looking at, go to bearsciences.com, read the article, and the research paper we're referencing is at the bottom of that page. But this study shows that more positive emotions may encourage strong gut health, while negative emotions such as depression or anxiety can actually lead to a decline in gut health. Thus, if you feel like your gut's playing up or your stomach's aching, it may have to do with maybe having more negative emotions that week, maybe a depressing week, maybe feeling a bit anxious about something for that month. It could be linked with that. Not 100%, but there's definitely a link. And if you feel like your gut is feeling a lot better than usual, maybe you've had a great week, maybe you've had a great month. This isn't a 100% thing, but there's definitely a correlation with it from what the science is showing. But how does our brain and gut communicate and even influence our gut health? Well, it's all linked to something called the gut microbiome. You see, your gut is home to trillions of bacteria. This creates an ecosystem known as the gut microbiome. These microbes help digest food, support your immune system, and even make chemicals that influence our brain function. The gut and brain are connected through what's called the gut-brain axis. This is a system where the brain and emotions can impact gut health and gut bacteria and can send signals back to influence your mood and stress levels. Basically what this means is, if you're having a positive week, happy emotions, it could make your gut health and gut microbiome be that little bit better. However, it could be the other way around as well. If your gut is not being taken care of, it's not in a great state, it can affect your emotions, making you maybe a bit more anxious, depressed, or any other negative emotions. Thus, it's a two-way street. Our gut can influence our emotions, and our brain and emotions can influence our gut. And interestingly, the scientists also found that how we process and deal with our emotions can also impact our gut health. They found that people who regularly suppress their emotions had a lower diversity of gut bacteria. You see, a lower diversity in our gut microbes is often considered a sign of poor gut health. Thus, this means if you're not expressing yourself properly or you're not emotionally regulating correctly, it can really affect your gut. However, those with more positive emotions had gut bacteria doing useful things like producing nutrients and chemicals that actually support brain health as well. This is all extremely fascinating. In fact, in addition, negative emotions were also tied to gut activity related to inflammation and stress. The paper even says that certain types of bacteria, like Ruminio, I'm not even going to pronounce this, I'm just going to put them on the screen for the next 2 seconds. And these were more common in people with negative emotions or who were suppressed their feelings, and less common in happier people. Thus, there seems to be a clear link between our emotions, or at least how our brain processes emotions, and its effect on our body, particularly our gut health, which can have many influences on our overall health as well. Now, this doesn't mean everyone with poor gut health is going to be depressed or anxious, and it doesn't mean everyone that's happy and super energetic is going to have great gut health. However, there is a correlation which is very interesting, and studying it more could really understand this fascinating dynamic between our brain and gut, and could potentially help with at least treating or mitigating certain effects with certain gut-related conditions, and maybe even some emotional and mental health issues as well. However, there are a few limitations in the study that we really need to consider. One of those being that many of the participants were also taking antidepressants at the time, or at least at some point in their lives. This can greatly impact both mood and gut health, thus potentially influencing the results. It'd be very interesting to see if these same results occurred with people who don't take any medication or don't take antidepressants. And we should also emphasize that this doesn't mean that depression or anxiety exclusively caused by poor gut health and vice versa. It is always important to consult with your doctor about this as well. And if you are interested in this, you can read our full article and show it to your doctor, and hopefully they'll be able to answer your questions, because this is not medical advice, it's just scientific research. However, what is very clear is that there is a distinct relationship between the brain and the gut. And if you want to learn more about this interesting dynamic in our body, you can read our full article at bearsciences.com. It's a very short read, completely for free. And make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all our latest articles. It's completely free to subscribe, very easy, just put your email in. And you can also become a member to receive early access to these and other exclusive perks, such as getting one of your questions answered in our articles. But comment down below if you found this interesting, and if there's any other things that our body does that you want us to discuss and that you find curious as well. We'd love to have a discussion with you guys because there are no silly questions at Bare Science.